Did Klinsman make the right call? Will Altidore be ready to return? Will Michael Bradley finally step up? And whatever happened to Alf? These questions and more will be answered in this episode of 5 Questions in 5 Minutes. I'm your host, Joshua Gibbs, and let's get started. Jurgen Klinsman will either be considered a prophet or pariah. After leaving Landon Donovan off the squad, the U.S. has still advanced farther than most people imagined. He's added defender John Brooks, who made the game winner against Ghana, several other younger players, which to me shows a commitment to the team long term. Now, no offense against Donovan, but he's 32. That's a little bit old when you start talking about players in FIFA. So what Klinsman has done is said, hey, I want to bring in younger guys. I have a commitment to them. I think they are going to be the future of our squad. I plan to be here for a while. I want us to be good for many years to come. Now, I personally am believing that Klinsman looks like Carl Roden, very famous actor. And since you don't know what Carl Roden looks like, let's just say that he looks like Hugo Stieglitz. Next question, Josie Altidore. How will Josie work with the squad after returning from a hamstring injury that he suffered on the 16th of June? We're just going to have to find out when we face Belgium. Everybody's got all the confidence in the world in Altidore. He's been working out separate workouts, doing separate runs, things like that. Everything looks to be okay, but you're never going to know. I like to think of him as the Westeros fire and blood, because that's what he's going to bring. He's going to have so much energy, and he's going to be out for blood after coming back from this. He's a great striker. He and Clint Dempsey in the forward are going to just be attack against the Belgians, because that's exactly what you're going to have to do. The U.S. is going to have to outlast and outwork Belgium if they want any chance of winning this match. Now, the only thing that remains to be seen is how well Jermaine Jones is going to work into this equation. Jermaine Jones is doing okay. He scored the equalizing goal when the U.S. was down 1-0 to Portugal, and he can definitely be a force multiplier for Altidore. The only thing that might work against him is he could be distracted thinking about his other job as the front man for a Counting Crows cover band. Michael Bradley has had a lackluster performance, to say the least. He allowed the equalizer by Portugal in that 2-2 finish. I mean, we were less than 30 seconds from a win, and his lapse on defense allowed them to score. But he has Klinsman's support, and that's important. His head coach said, and I quote, "We came through this group because of his influence on the field." Hey, when you've got the coach has your back, that's always a good thing. Now, you can't say he hasn't hustled, because according to FIFA, Bradley has covered 23.6 miles, the most of any player at the World Cup. And he can provide good defense to, again, Clint Dempsey, to improve on these 4 goals we've scored in our 3 games. And that's okay. I think Bradley is due for a big game against Belgium, and they know that he's got to step up. And this is one of those things that everybody knows it's got to happen. So, hey, let's give him the Game of Thrones equivalent of hear me roar. So go House Bradley. We're with you, brother. Now, as far as the Belgians, ours is the Fury. Let's go with that. House States, House America, House whatever you want to call it. We really need to step up against the Belgians, because they have been completely dominant in this tournament. They won all 3 matches in Group H. Their games have been decided in the final 20 minutes when the opponents are tired, and the Belgians have been able to outlast people. I like to think of our matchup against them as Rocky IV, whereas obviously we are Rocky Balboa, and the Belgians are Ivan Drago, except they're a talking waffle, or piece of chocolate, or whatever. Now, what is working for the U.S. is that we actually beat Belgium in the first World Cup in 1930. Now, the U.S. won that match 3-0, and so it's possible that the Belgians have just been waiting 84 years for revenge. But we're not going to let that happen, because I don't care if we were facing the Monstars, I'm still predicting a 2-1 U.S. victory. And finally, fashion. You either get it or you don't. Well, Versace has come out with a t-shirt. That's right, a t-shirt. If you've ever wanted to be the living embodiment of a Macklemore lyric, you can spend $690 and wear this abomination against God in front of your friends and family. After numerous apologies, who knows what's going to happen after that. Me personally, I think this looks like an Ed Hardy shirt that threw up on itself, but hey, what do I know about fashion? Well, this has been 5 Questions in 5 Minutes. Oh, and just in case you were wondering what happened to Alf in that final episode of that show, well, put it like this. He was captured by the government. And what do you think we would do to an alien who landed on Earth? Probably nothing too good. So, sorry if I ruined your childhood, but this has been 5 Questions in 5 Minutes. Talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.